Oh yeah, baby, we're about to 10 exit today. It's Leon Street in the house, businessownerelevation.com. I was keeping it clean there, guys, keeping it clean. Now, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a business owner, if you're in the community and you're watching this live right now, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Wednesday. Actually, no, we're still on the flip chart. We're going to get the whiteboard up very soon. As some of you know, we moved offices recently and we're still finding our feet, getting things set up. But boy, I've got a great topic to take you guys through today. I just want to shout out everybody watching on the other camera as well, because we're recording for our private community. So all of our customers and people in our private Underground Mavericks Facebook group. But anyway, so I want to tell you about the topic today. You're probably ready if you've jumped on the live. If you're watching this one back on replay, you will have seen it, I'm sure, alongside the Facebook post. And if you've seen it on LinkedIn or if you've seen this on YouTube, well, here we are. This is the title. I'm going to show you how to accelerate your business by not actually being in the business. And you're thinking, well, how is that possible, Leon? With a bit of trickery, a bit of magic. So I want to bring you into the world of something you may or may not have come across. And I want to talk to you first of all about the split personality of the entrepreneur. And so you're thinking, what do I mean by that? No, I'm not going crazy. I'm not bipolar. None of that, guys. But I do want to explain that we all, actually all of us, we are a little bit crazy. And no, I'm not right now. I mean you well, guys. I'm actually going to show you something that is going to be very beneficial to your business. So let's get straight into it. Whiteboard Wednesday, hashtag WBW. So what am I talking about with split personality? Well, it's pretty simple. It goes back to a guy some of you may or may not be aware of, and a book that you may or may not have read, The Entrepreneur Myth, the E-Myth by Michael Gerber. So what I want to talk about, guys, is you understanding your position in your business without detriment to the success of your business. Now, there are 3 key personality traits that Michael identified in his book that we all take on in a business as the business owner. So whether you're a coach, whether you're a consultant, or just a general small business, we take on this personality split into 3 variants. And those 3 variants are, number 1, the entrepreneur. You're thinking, okay, well, that wasn't too difficult. You know, you just mentioned the book, Leon the Entrepreneur. But the second one is the manager. And the third one is the technician. So let me break these down for you guys. So hopefully you can see this. We have the entrepreneur. We have the manager. And we have the technician. Okay, so entrepreneur, manager, technician. Guys, by the way, if you do have any questions, you can post them in the comments on this video as we're going out live. If you've got questions when you're watching this back on replay, please put them down. I will come back to your comments, check them out, I will reply to them. Everybody who does it every week knows that I come back to these comments. That's what we're here for, to help you guys to accelerate. So anyway, if you're not familiar with the E-Myth, as I mentioned, there's 3 particular personality traits that we all demonstrate in our business. So let me break them down for you. Number 1 is the entrepreneur. It's the person in us. It's the vision, the thought, the person, you know, you seeing where you can take your business. So whether you're looking at the next year, the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, the visionary. You just see, it's kind of like, I have this idea, I have this dream, I have this belief, but you see it. That's the entrepreneur, and we all have this, yeah. But in order to let that side of us come out, we've got to give it time, we've got to give it the creative space that it needs, and also the thought that we need around that for us to continue to drive that vision, have the belief, and really push forward with what we see as the future for the business. And number 2 is the manager. So the manager within us is the pragmatic, systemized approach that we take. So when you create a process in the business, or you have a certain way that you do things, that's the manager. It's the pragmatic approach to getting things done. So systems, processes, operation manual, those types of things, organization, that's the manager in all of us as business owners or entrepreneurs. And then the final one is the technician. So we all have the technician. You're thinking, well, what's the technician? The technician is the doer in us. So in your business, you do particular things. So you provide a service, maybe you deliver that service, maybe you outsource probably parts of it, or maybe even have a team. But the stuff that you do in the business to get results and to get things done, you're the doer. So for me, I really enjoy the kind of marketing strategy side of things. So earlier I was actually creating this Facebook ad strategy, which Adam behind the camera saying, actually that could be put out as a free lead magnet because it's very useful, and I think some of the business owners out there would find it useful. Oh, here we are. So Adam has very quickly just got that for me. So this is the thing that he's talking about. So if you're looking at that, so I'll literally just put this quickly together a bit earlier. So I was actually brainstorming, just thinking about what kind of strategy can we put in place for some of our clients, just to make it absolutely clear for myself and also for my customers. So that was an example of me doing the do, being the technician. So let's go back to the headline of today's topic. Well, you're saying to me how to accelerate, or how can you accelerate your business by not being in it? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. You have to give this part of your personality here, the entrepreneur, more time. Yeah, you have to give it space. And the thing with that is the entrepreneur, the visionary, is the person who's going to drive that business forward. They have the foresight to see where things are going. So I'm going to give you 5 steps of how you can actually work on your business, because that's what the entrepreneur is all about, working on the business and not being in the business. Because when you're in the business, you're either the manager or you're the technician, because you're doing stuff within it. But the entrepreneur is the person, the visionary, who's thinking about the future, planning for the future, putting those steps in place, looking at the opportunities, looking at the angles of where you can take your business. So what are these 5 steps? I'm going to give you these 5 steps. They're going to be very quick so that you can implement and use them in your business, so that you can work on your business and not be lost in it. So as the title said, and that's the whole point of this title today, how to accelerate your business by not actually being in it. Because when you're the entrepreneur, you're working on it and you're not working in it. So let's get started with this. Have you got the picture, Adam? I can see Adam taking pictures in the background. So step number 1. So 1. Let's put it in. Step number 1 is end game. To start working on your business, you've got to know that there's an end game in sight. So whether it's an exit strategy to your business, whether you're going to sell the business in the next 3 to 5, 10 years, whether you're going to exit, sell it to partners, find, somebody who's a buyer already. Maybe you've got them in mind. You want to set this business up with a buyer in mind. Or maybe you've just set yourself up because actually that's the point where you're going to stop, you're going to pivot, you're going to move into something else, but you have the end game in mind. So that's how you start to work on it, by knowing there's an end game. Yeah, things don't last forever, guys, and neither do we. So number 2. So you systemize. So number 2 is systemize. So you start working on what systems need to be in place. And I'm not talking about actually doing that work, but identifying what systems you need in order to create a business that works without you. Because that's the whole point of a system. A system allows your business to operate independent of you. So if you're a one-man or a solo, one-woman entrepreneur, yeah, by having systems, you can introduce team members, outsourcers, subcontractors, people into the business who can help to accelerate the growth of your business, because actually they've got the steps that they need in order to operate and deliver to your level and your standards that you put in place for your business. So systemize. Number 3 even. KPIs. So number 3, guys. Step number 3. Key performance indicators. So when your business is operating, you need a way to actually measure the success. And the way that you can measure success is to implement and put in place key performance indicators. That means, what are the measurements? What are you looking for? So for instance, maybe you track so many leads per month. Maybe you track so many leads per week, per day. Maybe you're looking at how long or how many visitors you have come to your website, how many people downloaded your lead magnets, how many people registered for your webinar, how many sales have you done in a given week, in a month, yeah? Have you hit your minimums? Do you know your level of profitability? Do you know your loss? Do you know your cash flow, your incomings, your outgoings, your KPIs? It could also be KPIs around delivery. How well are your team doing? How well are you doing as the business owner? Different KPIs are going to be the key things that you have as the kind of barometer, the marks of when your business is doing well, breaking even and going into profit and going to, you know, the next level. So step number 4 in how you can work on your business. So just checking my notes. Right, number 4. So step number 4 of how you work on your business is you've got to have a bird's eye view. So sometimes I speak to people and it's actually a phrase that comes up quite often, and we talk about the 30,000 foot view. But the thing is, I don't like to speak about the 30,000 foot view because actually it's too far up. It's too separated from the business. So what I like to use instead is the bird's eye view, because generally birds don't fly that high and they can kind of see what's going on the ground, and that's where you've got to be as the entrepreneur. You've got to be able to distance yourself, have a look at the bigger picture, but you've still got to have that connection with what's going on. And Gary Vee, you know, top marketer you may have heard of, I'm sure many of you have, he talks about clouds and dirt. And when he's talking about clouds, it's kind of like when you're up here thinking at the entrepreneur visionary level, and the dirt is when you're down doing the do. So it's kind of like where he bridges the gap between entrepreneur and technician. But what I'm saying to you guys is make sure that you have at least the bird's eye view, so you don't have to be in the clouds, but actually you can be raised up and see the bigger picture of what's going on in your business, in order to spot when things are going right, when things potentially are going to go wrong, or when you just need to be in touch with what's going on so you can keep your ear to the ground, as they say. So the final step, number 5, which is an important thing, let's get this in. Reflection. So first of all, guys, has this all made sense to you? I hope it has. And if you do have any questions, as I mentioned, please leave a comment. Have we got any comments, Adam? Just all right, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure, guys, but like I said, if you've got any questions as you watch this back later on, if you're watching it on replay, please post them. The final step in how you work on the business is all about reflection. So I want you to stand in front of a mirror. No, I'm joking, guys. Reflection is all about looking at and reflecting back on what's happened in a given period. So whether you're looking at what's happened in the past week, the past month, the past quarter, the past 6 months, the past year, this is an important step for the entrepreneur to work on the business and not be in it. Yeah, you need to look at what's happened. You need to reflect and say what worked, what didn't work, or actually what could be improved, what could be tweaked in order for the business to continue to grow and move forwards. A lot of the time we're so stuck and so caught up being in the business that we don't actually give ourselves time to reflect. Yeah, if you do want to look in the mirror, please go ahead and do it. If you want to say some affirmations to yourself, please do it. But here's the cool thing, guys, give yourself and give your business the time for you to actually reflect and look at what's worked and what hasn't. Honestly, it will take your business to the next level, because I speak to a lot of coaches, consultants, business owners. They don't give that the time of day. It's kind of like, I'm so busy doing this and I'm so busy doing that, getting money in, getting sales in, delivering for customers, that I don't give myself the time to reflect. But what I'm saying to you guys is that make it a priority. It's not that you can't find the time, you've just not prioritized the time. So once again, guys, I'm just taking you through Whiteboard Wednesday, Leon Street from businessownerelevation.com, how to accelerate your business by not actually being in it. First, we looked at the split personalities from the E-myth, the entrepreneur, the manager, the technician, and then the 5 steps that you can take to work on your business. Endgame, systemize, KPIs, bird's eye view, and reflection. And with that, guys, it's a wrap. Thank you.